Hello everybody and welcome back to Hearts of Iron, where we are currently pushing our way across the Asian front here, and it's going surprisingly well, actually. I'm a little bit shocked with how well it's going. There are a few locations over here that the air war is challenging in, but a lot of that is because we're still heavily fighting over Manchuria, and we're winning that fight, so that is wonderful. We can actually go through and do a line of nukes here if we want. The question is, do we think it's worth it? I think the answer to that is yes, anywhere where there are 2 or more enemies. And we can actually see the enemy counts right now. So we'll just go through and do a single line of nukes. I'm not planning to do any others at this exact moment. We'll just go through like this. And that should be fine. Do we have air superiority over here? I don't believe so. No. So that's okay. Now, we do have some work going on over here. I did notice in between episodes that we had successfully taken this over. I ordered this guy to just move on over. So he's doing that as we speak. That's fantastic. And he will arrive now. So I'm just going to assign him back into the army here. There we go. Fantastic. So there's that guy done. The question now becomes, of course, what do we want this army to be working on invading? They're currently chilling here. And the question is why? I'd like for them, I think, to invade Australia. Is there a crossing to Tasmania? I don't think so. No. Okay. That's fine. We're not too concerned about that. So let's think about bringing these guys over this way. And we were working on building a naval base over here, right? So let's just bring them on over, for now, to this naval base. We'll wait for this one to complete its construction. That will be when, exactly? A little while, not too long. And I believe we only need a level 1 naval base to make this happen. I want to launch an invasion over here, ideally taking this naval base, but if we don't take the naval base, I think that's maybe okay. We'll see how that plays out. I want to check our naval situation. These guys are set to a naval invasion support over here. Okay, that should be fine. Fantastic. It is currently 25 November 1980, according to my notes, is the next time we can run a war support, which, judging by our war support, is probably a good thing. So we're going to go ahead and do that. So we're going to select our reduction of political power, and then we're going to give ourselves our 12% war support. And of course, once again, the reason we're doing this is because our war propaganda is bugged. It thinks that we're always running a war propaganda campaign, and we're not. So there is that. Let me note down that it's going to be, let's see, November, December, January, February, I think March 29th, something like that. Good enough, and that'll be not 1980, but 1981. There we go, got that marked down. Excellent. And we are making some progress over here now that we dropped those nukes on in. That is fantastic. We've definitely taken some losses in this army. In fact, across this entire front, we've taken some pretty heavy losses, but that's why we're doing some heavy recruitment right now. Some of those should finish up soon enough. And we do need to finish taking over Manchuria over here, because we need to free up some of these airplanes. And to take some further forward air bases. This is all things that need to happen. So that's something that we're going to work on there. And our naval base down over here will be finishing up soon-ish. Yeah. Heavy emphasis on the ish. These guys are on their way in. And will arrive fairly soon as well. Ah, looks like this naval invasion has not happened. Okay, never mind. Now, I think a lot of this has to do with the fact that our naval invasion support ships are up here right now. I'm going to, for the time being, tell them just do this. So, well, this is actually going to cross 3 naval zones. That's a bit yikes. So actually, we're going to tell them to naval invasion support over here for right now. Just here. Okay. So hopefully we'll see this get going. That would be amazing. And we may be able to free up some units here and send them over to our Asian front. In fact, we probably should think about doing that. Considering that our Asian front is in need of some additional troops. We could grab, like, these 3 and send them into this army. And then, like, these 4, send them into this army. And then these 2, I think, are reasonably okay. We'll grab, say, these guys up here. This is, like, 8 units. And we'll just move them into here. Okay. So we'll do that for now. Get some of these shifted. And we can also think about maybe moving some of our European Coast Guard, but our European Coast Guard is very thin right now. Our South American Coast Guard would probably be the better option, but I feel like for now this is okay. The air war over Central America is challenging for us. There's no doubt about that. We're taking heavy air losses there, and that's to be expected, in all honesty. Large ships on low strength, okay. Sure, that's to be expected given this situation as well. We may want to think about utilizing this airbase to try to get us some air superiority over the Sargasso Sea over here. Do we have any jet fighters over this way that aren't really doing anything of note? The answer to that is not really. But we do have some planes over this way that could be repurposed, probably. We'll think about that. I would like to see this lad get going. But our navies may not be here just yet. Those are docked. Oh, right, because they're on naval invasion support. We need them to actually patrol out over here. And in theory, they should be fine. But it might take them a while to get there. Okay, how are we doing on the actual Asian front right now? Okay. This looks like some decent nukage opportunities here. Sadly, we currently don't have quite the air superiority. Now we do. So we'll go ahead and drop some nukes here. We're winning this battle, so this seems fine. There's a concentration of 3 units here, so we'll drop there. We've pushed in quite deeply here. And I don't really like that, but I guess it's okay. Okay, so a couple nukes going off over here means that we are pushing them back. That is beautiful. We're up to 21% war support right now. These guys are all retreating. Fantastic. So we'll just keep a bit of an eye on this front for right now. And we're also wanting to see if things like this are launching. Yeah, I know these guys aren't assigned to anything. This guy should be going, except I think we still don't have our ships here. We do, but we're currently doing battle. Okay. I mean, Australia has a bunch of stuff out here. And we knew that they did. They've been kind of harassing us with subs this whole time. So that's fine. We're working on eliminating all of this stuff over here. So that is magnificent. We are winning all of these fights over this way, so that's great. We did lose 3% war support there. Sad. And we're going to back off this line here. Actually, we could do either way, but we're going to continue backing off this line. Excellent. This has gotten a lot shorter, this front line, and that's very beneficial to us. A shorter front line is super useful to us right now. And actually, this is happening again. This time, I'm going to back off these guys. Like so. Okay. How long on some of our recruitment? That is a question. And actually, this is finished up, so we can probably start thinking about preparing this naval invasion. And I would love for this naval invasion to go from here to here, like this. And just grab this entire area if we can. They can execute that when they're ready, but that's not going to be for 84 more days. Another ace pilot shot down. That's sad. Very sad indeed. How are we doing navally over here? Oh, perfect. So these have actually launched, and it looks like we took this over. So this guy can move back into here. Wonderful. And we should probably tell them to go ahead and area defense. this here, as well as, let's see. I'd love for them to area defense this up here as well. And this, that's kind of it for right now. That should be good. Okay. There we go. And we're going to be landing over here. That will be magnificent for us. It's unopposed. There is an airbase here. Always nice to see. Beautiful. So we'll put him back in there as well. Okay. So now we're just waiting for this invasion to launch of Australia. And in the meantime, we are seeing a few losses over here. I'm going to go ahead and nuke here and here to help shore those up. Also, that's interesting. We'll go ahead and nuke there. Kaboom. Fantastic. I've got some other locations over here that I'd love to nuke, but are not currently an option. And mostly that's because Western China, we don't have very much air superiority over. However, Northern China, we now do. Which means that we could nuke here, as well as here, and here. But I really want to take this airbase. Is the airbase here or here? It's kind of right on that border. Let's let those go off, and then we'll launch another attack, and we're going to nuke this a second time. Excellent. We do have unassigned divisions over here. We have 4 modern tank brigades, and really, who do we want these to go to? I think it kind of doesn't matter as long as we spread them out a little bit. So like one here, we'll send one here, and then that last one, which is, I think this one unassigned? Yeah. We'll send you here. Perfect. Unable to find valid path to target, huh? Well, we'll see if he manages to find it. For now, we'll just move him down to like this naval base. It'll be okay. Wonderful. We need additional help over here, it looks like. We need to nuke here as well as here. Okay. That was a solid nuke, but it wasn't enough. So we'll just get these next couple going. Now it's enough. Wonderful. Okay, so the next thing that we are, of course, looking to do is continue to push in over this way with these air bases. So we did get this air base. That's actually huge that we're denying this air base to them. We could, at this point, move these guys forward to here. But, I mean, they're attached to the army, and that needs repairs. So we'll just hold off on that for the time being. Western China is our major problem in terms of air superiority right now. And this requires a nuke. So we'll just go ahead and do that. Excellent. What else might we be losing on? So far, I mean, we're losing over here, but there's not a ton we can do about that. Which is sad, to be sure. Also, this needs to go. We need this. Well, we don't need it, but it would make the map look prettier. And that's ultimately what matters, right? Everything has to be green. Our rebellion zone hasn't rebelled. Although I think we're taking pretty extreme losses up here due to their air superiority in the Sargasso Sea. This is definitely something that we should think about dealing with. To that end, let's get ourselves a little bit of manpower going here. Any moment now. Come on, manpower. Trying to pause it when we still have a little bit of manpower. But it's like one frame the manpower exists. We need 160, I think, to do what I want to do here. That was 415. It goes away so fast. You know, it might go away less fast if I wasn't on speed 5. That might be a thing. It also comes in less fast at speed 1. Let's try speed 3 for this. What do we got? It's still going away like the same frame. Or the next frame. Oh. Man. Oh, hello. Well, there's the manpower we need. Fantastic. So we're going to hop into this airbase here. And we are going to immediately add a new air wing. And we are going to make this actually be jet fighter 2s. So jet fighter 2s are very manpower intensive, but they have extreme range. And we're going to find some jet fighter 2s in here somewhere. I really wish that this had a search feature. I really do. Every time I play this game and start working with the air war, I'm just like, if only I could search for the type of plane that I'm looking for. Jet strategic bombers. I know for a fact that we've got jet fighter 2s. Here they are. Okay, so we'll toss one of them in over here. And this is actually going to be 1,000. And we are going to tell them to air superiority over the Sargasso Sea. Excellent. And that's mostly just to defend some of our ships over there. It'll take them a long time to get there, and that's going to be a lot of manpower that's going to go into that. And that's okay. That is completely okay. We're going to need to bomb here, of course. There we go. I wouldn't mind bombing here either, but that's not an option. 3% war support sounds good. How are we doing on our plan for the invasion here? Okay, another 60 days roughly. Sounds good, but at this point, basically all of the Indian Ocean is ours. And this is going exceptionally well. We do have more units that we can assign over here, and we'll do exactly that. We'll assign these guys into, say, these, I think. There we go. And they'll get there eventually. Okay. I saw a bit of a loss over here, but it seems to have changed the fortunes of that particular battle. Excellent. We're definitely pushing them fairly steadily over here, at least where we have the nuke control. I feel like we're also pushing them over here, but not tremendously steadily. Additional troops over here. I'm going to move these guys over to these armies. We definitely need the reinforcements. We need to keep the reinforcement flow coming over here. And for right now, I think we're going to back off this front line back to here. Okay. This clearly needs a nuke. And an autosave, apparently. There we go. Excellent. Okay. So yeah, this Asian war is going fairly well for us. We do want to take this airbase quite desperately, and it looks like we are taking that airbase. Magnificent. I also want to make sure that we are keeping up with our anti-air constructions over here, and in fact, there are a few locations where we can continue to build anti-air. Excellent. We'll do exactly that. We're definitely making progress over here. I think that they can't keep this up. I'm a little surprised that we can keep this up, in all honesty. These over here are going to need aid. I mean, to a large degree, the only reason we started winning on this front was when we developed air superiority over here and when this started happening. We're still actually losing this fight, so we'll help out. Nuking their positions just a little bit. But yeah, this is when this war really started to shift. When we started judiciously using some nuclear devices. Okay, this is just an artillery. Honestly, I don't think it's great, but we'll send it over. It's better than nothing, most likely. Emphasis on the most likely. Okay, out in the Sargasso Sea, yeah, we're doing fairly well over here. I like it. And then we can always redirect this later, but that's going to save us quite a lot of naval losses over here. Now you can see up here we don't have much coverage up here at this point. That's not ideal. And that's certainly something we'll want to deal with. We're seeing some solid progress over this way. We're going to continue to make that progress. I want this Asian war to be over so that we can really focus in on what this series is about. Conquering America. It's hard to remember sometimes. We have free civilian factories? Whoa. Wow. We have free civilian factories, guys. Okay. We're going to see if we can use those. Put them to work. We could queue up like a whole bunch of naval defenses. In particular, like in Europe and such. But honestly, I don't think it's that useful. You know what we're going to do instead? After we get our air defenses in here, and we can get some in these locations. After we get our air defenses queued up here as top priority, what we're going to do is we are going to build infrastructure in our backlines. This is all going to be low priority stuff. But I want all of this infrastructure to get maxed out. If we have free civilian factories, we may as well be working on this right now. There's no reason not to, in my opinion. So this will use up those civilian factories. There's no doubt about that. That'll keep them busy for a while. At a certain point, though, they won't be able to continue. Okay, we'll get all of these done. That's odd. Shift clicking in our vassal provinces doesn't really seem to be working the way I would expect it to. I guess that's fine, but it's slightly awkward. I don't really care about where we're building this. I just want infrastructure in all of these locations, because if we happen to be fighting there or moving troops through it, then I want to have that be as effective as possible. Not to mention, there's also the small fact that if there are resources in these locations, then we get more of them by doing this. And I'm okay with that. So yeah, we're going to max out all of these. It's a little tedious. I kind of wish there was a, like, queue up all infrastructure to max button. That would be neat. But alas, such a thing, as far as I'm aware, does not exist. We'll just go through here and queue up all of these locations. Now, we don't expect many of these to be particularly useful, which is why we've delayed it until now. Oh, that's weird, right? 3 plus 8 out of 10. That's why it wasn't maxing the way I was expecting it to. Huh. We're exceeding the infrastructure cap in some of these locations, I guess? If so, I don't know exactly how, but sure. I'm not going to question it. I'm just going to keep on going. Ooh, is this a location with steel? Yes, it is. I think we're still solid on steel, though. I'll have to double check that. I think it's mostly aluminum that we're still short on, but we are doing reasonably okay on that as well. Let's get this infrastructure over this way all queued up. And this is all low priority work as well, as I said. We're not too interested in getting it done unless there's nothing else that the factories are working on. And honestly, I'd like the repairs to be a higher priority than constructing this infrastructure. But a lot of things are getting completely repaired, so that is great. Like, we're getting close to having a lot of this built up. Now, there's probably some anti-air over here that we can build and such like that, but I think for now, that's probably reasonably good. There are some locations over here, however, that aren't maxed out. That does actually surprise me a little bit. But there we go. We'll get those maxed. As well as these over here. Excellent. A couple of these little islands out here that we can work on. And some of them are kind of hard to click on. There we go. We'll call that good for now, I think. That should keep our factories busy for a while. We're also going to need to queue up potentially some anti-air in some of these locations. Actually, this looks pretty good. I mean, we've been keeping up with the anti-air. We do have some unassigned divisions here that will pop over to Asia. There we go, just the one. And with that, it is time to put a cut in here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we're going to continue pushing into Manchuria. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings. And I will see you all next time.